Hi, I'm Dave, and I make video games. Coffee has been imbibed, oatmeal consumed, dog petted. So it's business time. Let's get to it. So today I have just a list of little burn down items to do. And I should be able to do all of these without screwing them up. So it should be better than last time. So today, so if you see, we walk behind things, there's like a little outline here, so you can see where you are. That's causing a couple little problems, like see how the cactus's feet are turning black. That's because these little platforms don't have colliders with them. You're not interacting with them, so you're kind of just going through them. And so we're still getting that silhouette effect, but just on your feet. So today, I think we're going to go back into the model and add just a little collider in here, and then you'll be able to walk up onto the collider, and then that won't happen. And then if that goes by really quickly, then we'll be able to do some other stuff too. Cool. So let's get to it. So here's the model, this big fish head model. That's in Blender. So I don't know if we talked about this last time, but I do all my modeling in Blender, and texturing too. I know there's a asset called like UModeler X that used to be super expensive and just became free, and it's being advertised as like Blender and Unity, which is interesting because importing and exporting and iterating between the two is not super fun. Okay, so this one I'm calling Mesh Collider, and what I want to do is, since character colliders, like little steps, can sometimes be fraught with danger, like it'll sometimes give you strange behavior, like you'll just jump up or something, or you'll just run into it and not be able to run over it. What we're gonna do instead is just have this cylinder, and then just give it like a just give it a ramp, so you'll just kind of like walk up over the ramp. And this is just a duplicate of this one. And I'm gonna turn the material off. Take the material off, and I will render it as a wireframe. Viewport display, wireframe, wire. And I don't, visibility. Why are you still displaying as textured? Oh, that's why. I was in cycles before. Now I'm in Eevee, which these are all just like flat colors, so there's no lighting. But okay, so anywho, here. So here is the little ramp that the collider will actually be interacting with, and then this is the platform that you'll actually see. Which maybe is like a fun, I don't know how common knowledge this is. Maybe that's like a fun video game thing. I don't know how, I'm sure most people are pretty familiar with this, but the way that game engines handle collision can be, and often is, decoupled from like what you actually see. So like you see all of this big information here, all this different stuff that you can interact with, but in actuality, like this one, like this asset, like you don't interact with any of this geometry. You'd walk right through it, and instead we have just this very simple collision wireframe, which maybe should be taller because people are definitely just gonna jump up on this thing. Deal with that later. Yeah, so that way, what this does is, it takes a lot of the load off of the computer, because it's not trying to handle all these finicky collisions, and it'll make it so that even if it wasn't easier on the computer, as a player, like it's easy to just get like caught in these little details, and you feel like you should just be able to slide right past them. So having like a simplified collision layer is usually preferable. And then we also have things like this. Let's see if we can see it out. We have just this boundary layer of invisible walls that you can't possibly walk over. Although this one might be deprecated. I think I modeled one in the level that goes up way, way, way bigger. So you can't fly out of the level. Because again, we have this tornado ability. People are totally just gonna fly right out of the level. Is it in here? I feel like it's gotta be in here. In-place geometry, tutorial dungeon, entrance step. Outside level, outside gate. Oh, that's the dungeon entrance, though. Grounded platforms? Walls? Did I put it in walls? It's in there somewhere. But yeah, don't try and break my game. Don't try and fly out into the void because it's impossible. You can't do it. I bet you can't do it. No one can do it. Our games cannot be broken or speedrun because they're just that immaculately assembled. I'm just joking. Just joking. Okay, so here we go. Now we have our main entrance model, and I just added duplicate mesh called Mesh Collider. All right, let's try and not mess up this export. This is professional level exporting here. Export FBX Twister Dungeon entrance. Okay, looking good. Only selected objects and only mesh because we don't have armatures. We're not doing a character. And I don't think we have to worry about any of this stuff. Okay, don't need that. There's no animation. Okay. My heart rate is increasing because let's see if we screw this up. All right. There should be a little dialogue window, maybe. Well, let's open the model and see if it's in there. There should be something called a mesh collider. Should be a mesh collider in here somewhere. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did we mess it up? How did we possibly mess that up? Okay, let's try it again. Select, file, export, FBX, Twister Dungeon entrance. Mesh. Okay, I've got everything selected. Okay. Export to FBX. How can I? Okay, let's check the Git. If it went, it'll show up in the Git. Okay, it's not there. Why aren't you there? Is this Sal's fault? Oh, well, we got a twisty bar. Unity's thinking about something. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. Okay. Is this something that we can blame on Sal? That's the main question. Because it's obviously nothing that I did. Because everything that I do is perfect. And Twister Dungeon entrance. Okay. Okay, entrance. There should be a thing called Mesh Collider in here. A bunch of materials we don't use. Entrance, base, bottle, panel, eyes. What in the deuce is going on? Okay, third time's charm. This time we're checking the file path. File, export, FBX. Oh, so dumb. Okay, I was exporting this into my personal folder. What I need to do is go into my Git. Where are you? I should really make a frequently used thing. Okay. GitHub, Sandcaster, assets, Sandcaster, models, dungeon entrance. C's, D's. Is it outside entrance? Outside gate, outside door. Twister dungeon entrance. There we go. FBX. Export. Okay. Fingers crossed. Oh. Did it do anything? Are you there? Mesh collider. Genius. Look at this, professional. Okay, just this one time it wasn't Sal's fault and it was my fault. But, like, this is first time. First time. Okay, let's see. So what we're gonna do is, so here's the mesh collider piece. So right now there's no, oh, it does have a mesh collider. Okay, so it automatically puts the mesh collider on. Then we'll turn the mesh renderer off to make it invisible. Okay, let's play this guy. Oof. Ooh, oof. You know, it's probably, I gotta get better at playing my game. And die. Okay. Now, if this works, my feet shouldn't clip through the bottom of the path. It's not working. It's not working. Okay, why is not working? Oh, wait. Do I have to... Okay. Mesh renderer, this ground. I think this has to be tagged ground. We're using some very keen-eyed obstacles. Some very keen-eyed people have noticed that we're using top-down engine. Okay, so it has to be tagged ground. Okay, so that's the mesh collider has to be tagged ground. Yeah, how did you guys figure that out? Like, was there a thing open, or like, was there just like a UI thing, or someone once said like they could tell just by the way things were tweening or splining that it was top-down engine, which that's incredible. Okay, so mesh renders turned off. Mesh collider. Oh, that's just the filter. Okay, so okay, first we'll tag this as the ground layer so that you play your walking animation on it, and then we're going to do mesh collider. Okay. I don't think it's convex, right? Or is it convex? I'm gonna leave this unchecked. I know you game devs out there are just incensed by how terrible I am. I'm primarily an artist and a creative, and using Unity and coding is something I'm learning as I'm going along. But yes, like doing the art and the 3D modeling and the storytelling, that's my core competency. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those feet. Look at those toes. You can see them. Amazing. Okay. Boom. Aha. Ha, ha. Oh, 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 oh. Sweet. Okay, so now we have this one to do. So I think what I'm going to do for that is go here, take this guy, entrance step. I'm just going to delete you, and then I'm going to grab the mesh collider, and then I'm going to grab the, nope, just those two. The control, okay, cool. Then I'm going to duplicate them. All right, and then I'm going to move them over and then down. Like that. Sweet. And then just to eliminate some of the patterning of these bricks, I'm going to rotate it around the y-axis just a little bit so you can't tell quite how lazy I'm being. And test. Shoot. Oh. I've been getting a lot of questions about this role. We'll talk about this role because its evolution is one of those like follow the fun things that's kind of interesting, and how it's going to be implemented. Yeah. All right. Look at, you can see his toes. Boop, 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 up here. Haha. All right. Oof. Did we implement that? Oh, Sal did implement it. Okay, so good job, Sal. A+ partner. Last time I was doing like a crashing into the wall animation, and I needed a little one for when you like just kind of bump, like boop. So there's a fast one when you're going really fast, you knock on the ground. When you do just a little teeny one, boop, there's just a quick one, boop. Just enough to like say, oof, you did something, but not a big deal. Man, surprised how fast he got this in. Oh, here's the new walking animation. This feels right. This acting feels right. It's like not offensive, but still's got a bit of character. I sent this over to Miyuki, and she's just gonna, make it better. Probably add a little more bounce, like a little more squash and stretch into Little Cactus's torso. And then we also have the punch. There. So we still kind of have it, the punches mixed in, and we got to do a little cleanup. So like when the punches just come, when the hands get really big, that's the old one. That one, that's the old one. Which are kind of like a more like roundhouse, like more of an arc like this. The new ones are kind of like straight out. They're like going to be more jabs, quicker. But those are still just very roughed in, so they look kind of herky-jerky right now. They look herky-jerky right now because they're just doing stepped animation. So we'll put a little more life into those later. All right, cool. So there we go. That was the first thing. Task 1 complete. Now we'll do task 2. All right, so part 2, stuff we're doing today. So one consistent piece of player feedback is that the combat is too easy. So our main enemy are these little guys. I call them gobos. And it's true. You can just kind of button mash them down. And there's kind of only 2 variants. There's the little one, and then there's the big one that's inside the temple that I think I showed last time. We're experimenting on a couple ways to increase the difficulty of combat, and keeping in mind too, like we're aiming for. I mean, I keep saying Wind Waker a lot, but that's definitely one of my North Stars. And in this case, I'm talking about the difficulty of Wind Waker. Like a lot of Zelda likes. Are actually kind of too difficult for the audience that we're going for. And like I say kids, and I know that there are some like video game savants that can, oh god, like there's a streamer I love. He said that his son was like 7, beat like Hollow Knight Pantheon, which is just insane because I can't beat the Hollow Knight Pantheon. And I'm an old man. And I've been doing this for a while, but I want to make games that are a little bit easier, like more accessible. There's nothing wrong with being on the easier side of things. So we're shooting for like a Wind Waker difficulty, not like a Tunic difficulty, not a Death's Door difficulty. Just like just a more like casual. Casual has so much baggage to it, but like just something that your palms aren't going to get sweaty playing, just want to have a good time. So we need to make our combat more difficult, and if you have ideas on how to make combat more difficult that doesn't involve like super weighty animations and and bullshit. Oh, sorry, I'm trying not to swear in these. Then yeah, leave me a comment. But one of the things we're going to do is have a couple different varieties of gobo. And so we need to tell them apart, and so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to try and like give them like different hats and different color schemes. I think there's an idea for like one that throws things at you, maybe another that like tries to bash into you. We'll see. So we'll have like a couple different ones. So, yeah, like here's our Gobo model. This little guy. He has. I gave him this like Bart Simpson like running attack animation, and I really hope we get to use this at some point in time because it's just it makes me laugh. But we're gonna give him different hats and different color schemes, and I'm gonna go to Pinterest for that. So I have my Pinterest window pulled up, and we're just gonna go on a tour together to just kind of look for ideas and maybe like do some sketching. So like pointiness is like is a big deal, right? Like you pointiness kind of tells the player like, hey, this is a bad guy. Or this is danger. Pointiness equals danger. So there's all sorts of little like visual shortcuts for that. Here's my very good sketch. I'm a pretty sloppy, like when it's just for me. When it's just for me, I like to work pretty messily because I know it's going to be in 3D and not like a 2D illustration. Um, I just need to like rough things out and try a couple ideas. So let us just peruse a little bit and get some ideas for shapes that might be cool for different gobos. Like these helmets are cool. This is like the Coliseum kind. God, there's so much good art. Like Pinterest can be like Pinterest is amazing and it will up your art game just for like getting ideas for shapes and color schemes, rendering styles really quickly uh, as long as you're not just copying it. But my Jesus, like there's just so much cool stuff here, and there's definitely times where maybe what if there's a wizard gobo? That would be cool. Like a whiz robo. Um, that's cool. There are definitely times where I'm thinking like, man, what am I even doing? Like all of like there's people making exactly the sort of thing that I want to make. Like I'm making another game called Ikaro, and like oh, this stuff is cool. That's really cool. Or this, like, now this is a cool idea. Like, okay, so what if there's a gobo that throws bombs? So he has like a hat that's like got it's got that little fuse on it, right? Oh, I don't want the bloody inker. I want that thickened thing. Yeah. So what if there's one? Oh, that's on the white layer. Yeah. So what if he had like a little thing like this? Um, and it had a little. It had like just a little fuse. Oh, that's awesome. And if you beat him, he explodes. Oh, that'd be cool. Cause then like you don't want to be too close. I, poor guy. Like you don't want to be too close to beat him. So like you don't want combat. So maybe you have to hit him with a twister to make him go away. I like that. I like that idea. Okay, so let's see what else we got. The one that we're definitely thinking of doing is like someone that just throws projectiles at you. Like rocks or something. See, like we've already got the spikes, like the kind of devil horn spikes. That's like the obvious, like the most simple obvious answer. Another obvious answer is just to kind of copy what I'm doing with the cactus, right? Just give him a little horn right here. I could give him like maybe another pattern, the stripe that goes down the middle like that. Like or I'd say stripe, but like a raised section. So here it's coming up and over the curve like that. So you can see what I mean here. Like this is really messy. I'm not going to win any illustration awards. Perspective's terrible right now. But like it's just me. It's just us. You know. We could fix it in post. Ooh, this is kind of cool. Like this is spikes, but maybe going down the back, like a dinosaur. Um. So like, okay, so he's got his helmet. He's got his. Oh, did I just make a group? I don't want a group. So he's got like maybe like a little one here, and then like a bigger one here, and then like another one that goes down the back, and then another one. That's not the front. The front would be over this way. Yeah, so like something like that could be kind of cool. I think it's better, like creatively, it's better to just do this like this kind of exercise where it's a brain dump, right? You're just looking, you're like, oh, that's cool, and then do a quick sketch. That's better than like taking all of these, putting them in a big mood board, and then being like, I'm going to do this part for this, and this part for this, and this part for this, and then like try and nail it in one go. I always end up getting stressed out when I do try and do stuff like that. These kind of like cylinders are interesting. Like, look at this. Like, this is exactly what Mighty Brute. That's right. I keep saying Mighty Brute. That's an old game that I worked on for a bit. This is exactly what like Sandcaster kind of wants to be, like this style. If I had a gajillion dollars, like I would love to just go on here and be like, you're hired. Get over here. And then I would go over, and then I'd find like another guy, and be like, and you're also hired. Get over here. And then just, oh God, that would be so much fun. Like, I, um, I, I'm making a disclaimer here because if I don't, I'm gonna come out the opposite of what I mean. I loathe AI. I hate generative AI. I get offers to use it all the time, especially back when I used to be an art director for Reddit. I hate AI. I hate it. Um, that said, that like just the idea, I don't know that it's even there yet, but the idea that you could just like throw ingredients into a pot like cooking in Breath of the Wild and be like, oh, I like what you got going over here, chuck it in the pot. Ooh, I like what this guy's got going on over here, chuck it in the pot. Oh, I like what this guy's doing over here, chuck it in the pot. And then like pulling the gachapon. Well, you don't pull levers in gachapon. You twiddle the dials. You twiddle the dials in your gachapon machine and see what comes out. Like, oh, I can imagine. Like if it worked, I can imagine how addictive that would be. Um, Uh, so it's a powerful siren song. It's too bad that it's just like horrible for the industry and horrible for the environment and horrible for the artists. Yeah, it's too bad. And you know what would be even more fun than doing that is just having like 1,000 amazing artists be your friend, and we could all just work together and not have to worry about getting paid, like in some UBI and some like UBI utopia where artists don't need to make money and we can just work with each other and do fun stuff and collaborate without profit motive. That would be even better than using AI. So that's the future I'm pulling for. This looks like some weird Silk Song guy that didn't make it in. Oh, OC, Hollow Knight OC. Okay, yeah. Called it. Oh God, this is kind of funny too. Like because it kind of looks like gobo eyes, right? So like, well, that's the wrong window. Like, what if there was a gobo who was just like he just looked like a keg, make it kind of chunky at the bottom. Yeah, and there's like not any breakable kegs in the which I feel like in a fantasy setting, there's no kegs. Like, what are you doing? Anywho, so there's something like this, and then there's a bung hole. That's what that's called. Put a little guy here. Some staves. And then make this a little lower. And then there's like the top. The top comes up like this. It's too big. And you see like the little gobo head pop up here from time to time. Little ears pop out. That would be kind of funny. And then if you break it, if you like let's say it just looks like a keg, right, most of the time, and then we could also just have breakable kegs just like hanging around. But these ones just stay kegs, and like maybe the head pops up every now and again. But if you break that one, a little gobo pops out, and now you've got like just another problem to deal with. That would be pretty cool. I like that. This is more square shapes. I don't know how committed I am to like the kind of the inverted walk with horns motif that I've been using so far. He's got more Viking horns. Let's do a Viking horn one. What we haven't done. Okay, what we haven't done is we haven't done like we haven't done like a rhino horn, right? Like in the front. If we have a gobo who's like looks at you and then he looks at you and then he does the Bart Simpson, I'm gonna just wave my arms, and if you get hit, it's your fault. That one would be a good one to have a rhino horn like that. It'd be kind of cool. Okay, next one. Let's see here. Let's go with feather. Little crown. That would be funny too. Like if there was like a leader. Why did I keep clicking on that? If there's like a leader of the gobos, his one's got like little. He's got like little, like chunky, like crown bits like that. That's the boss. Boss Gobo. Some people have been asking in the previous channel, like, what's the lore? And he needs to have this guy for sure would have a cape that's too long, right? Do that metaphor of like, it's like the king in the Petite Prince, who's like, he wants to be the king more so than he like really is the king. So that give him this long cape would be kind of funny. Like little yeah. And in my imagination, the sound the little mushroom guys make in the fungal forest in Hollow Knight. the ones that roll at you and like that. That is exactly what these guys sound like. Just sounds like kind of grumpy cats that are like cats that a cat that's it's grumpy enough to make a noise, but not grumpy enough to actually like sit up and do anything about it. Just kind of complains at you. That's the vibe I'm kind of getting from the gobos. Oh, I went on a tangent. So some people have clockwork. See, this is the great thing about hats. You can just put anything on a hat and change the theme. So I saw one that had like the wind up toy, like wing nut boop, thing. This. Oh, sorry, I got sidetracked again. People were asking about the lore of the game, and again, like a lot of this is in my head because until the game is funded, give them a little wind up toy. Yeah, the little wind up toys ones. These are like the automaton. These are like the automata gobos, clockwork gobos. Um, okay, focus, Dave. Focus. So the only thing that exists is the demo. The demo is all that exists. There's not like we're not working on like a town and other dungeons and stuff like that because you would only get to see that if the game gets funded, right? Doesn't make sense to build out the rest of the game if we don't know if the rest of the game is going to be built yet. Because Sal and I are just burning through our savings to make this, and we can't just make the game for free and put it out and hope that it makes a bajillion dollars. So a lot of this stuff is just in my imagination yet. Oh, okay, Rebecca. Oh, that's cool. So there are story ideas that exist in my head that's also kind of cool. It was stepped. Story ideas that exist in my head. But like, nothing is final until it's like, okay, green light, make the rest of the game. Like, but people were asking me, what is the story? What's the lore here? Like, what's going on? And I have some loose ideas about that. One of which, and like even though I've only played Dark Souls a little teeny tiny bit, and even that I did not enjoy. Like the effect of Dark Souls looms large on the industry, and like everything is about like this big entropic crunch. This like everything is sucky, everything is getting worse. Type of story. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. One is it's a really efficient story for like not having too much in your game. Like, oh yeah, there's not a lot of people in my game because most of them are dead. Or like, oh, there's not a lot of, or like, it removes a lot of the content and a lot of some of the problem. What if he had like rivets on his hat? It removes a lot of the problem solving that you have to do, and it reduces the size of your bill of materials that you have to create. It's very and it's hot right now, so it's Hollow Knight, it's Silksong, it's Dark Souls, like you see it everywhere, and it's like I find myself writing that into my games, almost by default, just because it's so zeitgeisty and like the world is an interesting place right now. So I'm trying not to do that with Sandcaster. Like I'm trying to make a more hopeful world, more hopeful game. And so I want this game to be about like things are on the brink of getting better, you know? It's like you're not stuck between two bad options. Like you're helping things wake up. Like the world is waking up and it's exciting and that's exciting and that's good. And like we're gonna give it the nudge it needs. And so the gobos are kind of like they're kind of like the people who are running around where everyone else is asleep. You know, it's like, they're like it's like your dog. You know, when you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna step out of the house for a little bit. I don't need to put him in the crate or anything. And then you come back and they've eaten the Lego. They've peed on the floor. They've chewed up your son's beloved toy, and you're like, that's the gobos, right? Like they've just been, they've just been up to mischief while the world is asleep. And so that's in my brain canon, like that's why they're everywhere, just getting up to no good. Um, yeah, I don't think I want them to be like the personification of some, eldritch evil or something like that. I'm gonna make a note to myself that these are rivets, um, for the future. Generating way more ideas than I'm going to need, but that's okay. Unless we make a lot of gobos. Okay, we were talking about a whiz robo, right? So a whiz robo would have like a conical shape. Yeah, so I kind of like this idea of like things are things are waking up. The world is waking up. I have an opening sequence in my head that's like, maybe I'll get to make it someday. Because you're a desert, you're in the desert, you're a cactus. There's a reason. There's a way that we got there. Being a cactus in the desert. I really like these like little onion. They're like points, but they're cute points. They're kind of like little onions. So I had this funny mental image in my head of like you're a cactus, you're sleeping, and like an owl starts pecking your face, and you're like, ah, hey, quit it, stop it. And the owl's like, oh, sorry. And you're like, what are you doing here? And the owl's like, oh, I was gonna peck a hole in your face and live there. And you're like, you can't do that. And the owl's like, well, okay, well, I'm just gonna stick around and just in case, you die or go back to sleep or something. Um, can I have your head for a home? And you're like, oh, okay. And then like have this owl just kind of follow you around, just on the off chance that you bite it. Um, maybe your head shape is like the perfect, it's like the perfect interior design for his needs. This guy, Matt, I've met this artist before. I'll put his name in the yeah, I'll put his name in the description. I've met this guy, Matt. His last name starts with an M. Um, he's awesome. He's a really awesome character designer. I wish I could hire him. Someone hire this guy. I'll link his like Instagram and all of his stuff and his shout out in the notes. Yeah, he's awesome. There's a lot of really awesome people in here. Like this guy. This is Satoshi Matsura. I have commissioned him to do work on Ikaro, which is my other game that he makes. I really love this kind of like chunky sensibility. It really rides the line between. He does a really good job of making things cute and appealing, but not too cute. I can find myself going too cute. Um, and that's probably because of some of the places I've worked in the past have pushed my art that way, and that just kind of permanently became that way. But he rides that line of being like he can be like cute and appealing, but not too cute, and like still have a little bit of edge to what he's doing. So that's another one. Satoshi Matsura, someone hire that guy. He's doing a really awesome YouTube series right now where he's just like, it's like mind to, and then like dot dot dot, right? So he'll be like mind to orc, and then he'll just thumbnail like 50 orcs, and he does it in pen and paper, right? He's not being cheap like I am. So he's got a bunch of awesome things like that on YouTube. I'll post a link on there too. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. There's so much good stuff out here. Like, what am I even doing? Okay, let's do two. We're getting kind of long. How long have we been recording for? 28 minutes. Holy okay, this is gonna be a long video. We might even like break an hour. Okay, we'll do two more. I'll find two more shapes that I like for gobo heads, and then I think we'll call it there, and then I'll go make them myself. Yeah, see, this is good stuff. This is from one of the Art of books, which are awesome. They're really good. This kind of like wood block print style that they did for their concept art. Awesome. Okay, actually I have one gripe. Since we're all here, Wind Waker Deku Tree, in my opinion, is a bad design. I'm laying it out here. I do not like what they did to the Deku Tree for Wind Waker. And the reason I don't like that is, like, see his little like snaggle tooth here that he has? Like, that is artistic shorthand for like unintelligence. Like you're a hick, right? Or, you know, like you've got bad teeth. I understand that what they were probably going for is like, oh, Deku Tree is old, and like old people don't have all their teeth, and so we're gonna give the Deku Tree like this like snaggle tooth here, and like a big honking nose. He also has like a really like thick furrowed eyebrow, right? Which is like also kind of like, this is the big thick eyebrow is also shorthand for like Neanderthal, which is also shorthand for like brutish and not very smart. So like this big eyebrow plus this snaggletooth is what you would do for a character when you want to say, hey, like this isn't a very smart character. And that's not the Deku Tree. Like, the Deku Tree is old, yes, but he's also wise. Like, he's a respected elder. He just kind of looks like goofy. It's like super goofy. So I kind of don't like that character design. Every time I replay it, I'm like, oh, why did you do that? Nintendo, why did you do that? But you know, they're Nintendo, and I'm Dave alone in my office, and I have not shipped a game yet. So, you know, mileage may vary on that one. Okay, we still haven't. I said we were going to do two more. We still haven't done it. I like the tassels. Tassels on a helmet is good, but it also would require more animation, so we're not going to do that. Because I would have to update the rig so that they move, so that they're secondary motion, and I don't want to do that. You know, we could do we haven't messed with asymmetry yet. Okay, delete. Okay, we haven't messed with asymmetry for these helmets, so we could have one where it's like, okay, you get one big horn, you know, you're like a fiddler crab, you got one big horn, and then you got a little horn. Like that. That could be cool. Okay, last one. Okay, this is it. This is going to be the best one. This is going to be the one we'll go with because it's going to be the best. I just need to think about it. We haven't done one with like covering their eyes, but I feel like that's not quite right for what we're going. Right now we just need one for a guy who throws stones or spears or pickaxes at you. Okay, where are we even at? Okay, we'll go back to Sandcaster. You can see a lot of the inspirations here. I mean, it's like all the color palettes are very autumnal. I like I like kind of this that's going on where it feels autumny, but everything is like your primary colors are shifted. So they're more like secondary and tertiary colors, but they still have that autumn kind of feel to that. I really like that. It still feels juicy without being soup stoops saturated. Yeah, you can see like a lot of a lot of influences here. Shape design, like you'll probably notice some of these designs in the demo if we ever play it. Oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. Points, 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 points. You know, we like if maybe he's like a sharpshooter kind of guy, like right? Like maybe he's got a maybe this one doesn't have a hat, and instead he's got goggles. So they go across the top like he's Usopp or Riddick. Yeah, because he's got little ears. Maybe he wouldn't want glasses hanging off his ears. That's too uncomfortable. I don't, you know what? I actually do like this. And there we go. That's the last one. Okay, so we've got a lot of ideas here. We've got almost like 10 ideas here. We could do this could be a whole game's worth of permutation on the gobo right here. And all it took was 35 minutes. So cool. I'm going to model these. Maybe I'll do a different session when I'm modeling because I can kind of zone out while I'm modeling also. So maybe I'll pick one or two and model these in a different video and upload it. And then I'll also change out the texture here and just show you guys how that works. And we'll call it. So cool. Wow, this one ended a lot better than the last one. I'm pretty excited, you guys. All right, I will catch everyone later. Oh, wait. Don't forget to wish list the game on Steam and like the channel and subscribe. Okay, now I'm done.